Dave, what can you say first of all about your relievers being able to pitch a shutout tonight?
They did a fantastic job, all of them. We got another look at Brewer, but the guys were good. All those guys were good, and Barnes, sorry about that. And Klein took the ball 2 innings, and I feel we got through tonight. It's good to see Mills bounce back. And tomorrow I feel, there's going to be a couple of guys down, but we got Robo going tomorrow who can take down a lot of outs. So I think we couldn't have asked for a better situation tonight. And it was good to see a few of the guys break out. Well, Teo and Pajes with some big hits, and obviously Max stayed hot.
Have you started to see signs from Teo on that last homestand, even though not really showing a lot of the power until tonight?
Yeah, I think that, that Giant series, I felt that the intentions were much better. I think he was locked in on every pitch and really had a plan and was really fighting. And so, I saw much better bats, and it carried over into tonight.
Do you feel like you challenged him by hitting him 8th on that last homestand, and do you feel like he did what you would want a player to do and respond?
He certainly did. He responded really well. That wasn't my plan initially to, have him hit 8th, but, I just felt the way that things were going, the way he was going, I thought it needed to be done. And, you can look at it, as different ways, as a challenge or kind of give him a different look. But, however he took it, he's responded well and knows that I always have his best heart and everyone's best interest at heart, right? But we needed him to be better and have more consistent at-bats, and he's doing that right now.
Are you seeing more guys starting to find their swings again right now?
I am. I think that, Dave mentioned Teo. I think that Teo's in a good spot. We talked about Muncie's been in a good spot. I think Andy is starting to trend in the right way again. I think Tucker's been trending for a while, and Will's been consistent. I think Teo's been on the way back too. So we got a lot of guys that are swinging well, and to get Freddie off his feet tonight, I think was a good thing in the midst of 13 in a row. So we'll get him back in there, and Tuck will be down tomorrow.
Going back to the pitching injuries pregame, how important is it to just kind of the offense get back to what you guys expect as you navigate these next couple weeks here?
It's important, but I also think that it's one of those things where, there's 2 separate parts of the pitching and then the hitting, and our offense can't concern themselves about who's pitching and who's hurt, who's not. They've got to take care of their own business and play good defense to help, the run prevention side, which they've been doing all year long, and just take meaningful at-bats. And if we do that, then we're going to score runs. But, tonight to be able to, be able to save Tanner Scott, to, keep him away from 3 in a row was big. And, the only guy that went multiples was Klein tonight, so he'll be down. But again, coming out of tonight, the offensive run production allowed us to do that and give us a little coverage.
What have you seen out of Andy this year that's contributed to your success and helped him be a key member of this lineup?
I think the thing I've seen from Andy is, a young player, when it starts to go south, you can't stop it. And as a guy that plays every day, the 0 for 4 turns into a 1 for 20 pretty quickly. And so that's what happened last year at the end of the year, where I think now he had a little swoon and found a way to, whether it be take walks or get a hit here or there, to kind of do some damage control until you get back swinging well. And I think he weathered that kind of, 10-day swoon earlier.
Feel good to beat the Angels?
Yeah, it does.
Does it feel weird to lose to them 6 times last year?
It did. I think we lost to these guys. Couldn't beat these guys last year. Couldn't beat the Brewers last year. So it was nice to beat these guys. Yes.
Dave, last year the bullpen had the heaviest workload in baseball, in part because of some bullpen games that were necessities. How important is it to weigh the workload of the bullpen as you kind of navigate these next couple weeks?
It's important, but you know, tonight was one of those nights that there was no other alternative, and you know, we're trying to win as many games as we can, and you know, you just hope that the guys that are starting can take a lot of outs so they don't put more added stress on the pen. Especially, you know, this is a big stretch here with these guys. The Padres coming up next, the 13 in a row. So we're going to need another good outing from our starter tomorrow, and then the next day to kind of reset the bullpen, because right now, you know, we're thin as we look into tomorrow, but feel good about tomorrow's starter though.